Yeah, I do get the sense that Kojima was having a bit more fun with Peace Walker compared to 4. With 4, you really get the sense that he really, obviously didn't want to make that game. It was more made out of obligation more than anything else. Um, because yeah, he really didn't want to answer all those mysteries that were left open as mysteries. But I would imagine once he got done wrapping all that stuff up, maybe the prospect of going back to the series wasn't, it wasn't as bad, because he could kind of start with a clean slate. Okay, I've done all that stuff. I've wrapped all that stuff up. I've given people what they wanted. Now what can I do with the series? Yeah, I would imagine that's why the game doesn't really reference portable ops much either, because he didn't want to deal with all that baggage. He said, no, fuck it. Probably never thought he'd be going back to the big boss era. But when he eventually did, he said, I think I'm just going to kind of take my game as an MGS3 sequel rather than a Portable Ops and MGS3 sequel. He does acknowledge Portable Ops, but it's to sever ties with it at the same time. At the start of the game here, we'll get a story recap, the story so far. There's no mention of Portable Ops. They recap MGS3 and then it cuts to the first cutscene. Um, but then, of course, you get that line shortly after the intro where Miller says it's time to leave all that crap in San Geronimo behind. An obviously meta piece of dialogue where they're basically saying, let's forget about Portable Ops. Let's leave all that stuff behind. But the fact that they mention it means I guess you could still interpret it as them, like, acknowledging that it still exists within the canon, but that they're kind of, you know, brushing it to one side a bit so they can have a bit more freedom. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, young Snow? I was about to call you Peace Walker. How's it going, Peace Walker? No, you're talking about Peace Walker. Um, I think I'm just gonna go for the classic. This guy. Uh, Massive manager over here. Classic. Large leader. This guy. Big medic. OHN. That's our completed file. I love Peace Walker's soundtrack. Such an underrated soundtrack. It's so brooding. So much tension bubbling underneath it.
Hey, boss! Wanna go around?
Sure. Let's do it. So here we come. Arriving to greet our
Look alive, ladies!
own
The
man
boss
here.
is gonna join us! Show him how it's done, boss! Your first priority in enemy territory is knowing your surroundings. Your life depends on where you are looking, and how fast you can identify your targets. Therefore, you must first master moving your line of sight. To move your line of sight, use the right stick. Now when I give you an order, look in that direction. Look up! Good! Look down! Good! You should be familiar with the up and down controls now. Press the action button if you're ready to move on.
I love this guy. Yeah, so we're just giving an example here. We're not being taught. We're teaching.
All right, let's try up and down on the right stick one more time. Look up. Good. Look down. Good. You should be familiar with the up and down controls now. Press the action button if you're ready to move on. Okay. Next, we'll check your left and right. Look right. Good. Look left. Good. You should be familiar with the left and right controls now. Press the action button if you're ready to move on. Okay. You can change the controls anytime in Options. Go with the method that works best for you. Next, I'll explain how to change stances. If you just stand there like an idiot in front of an enemy, you might as well kill yourself now! At times, you will need to get low to avoid detection. You have 3 stances: stand, crouch, and lying down. To change stances, use the crouch button. Tap the crouch button to change between standing and crouching. You can move in either stance. Hold the crouch button and keep it held to lie down. However, you cannot move while you are lying down. I'll say that again. You cannot move while lying down. Is that clear?
Why not? Yeah, you cannot crawl in this game, but you can lie down. It's a PSP game. Give it a break.
Good. Next, we'll work on your movement. Use the left stick to move around. Tilt it a little to walk slowly. Tilt farther to run. Decide which to use based on your situation. Remember that your footsteps are louder when running, making you easier to discover. Be careful!
Now, I think they could have included crawling, but I think it was more of a balancing decision to avoid it, so it wasn't as easy. The stealth in this game is pretty easy, though, especially on the
Good.
HD collection.
Now we have rolling. Rolling is useful for knocking down enemies in your way, and for getting away when surrounded. You can also use it to jump over small ditches and other obstacles. To roll, tap the crouch button while running. You got that? Tap the crouch button while running! Don't forget it!
They wanted to make the missions pace faster so that you can finish them quicker while on the train. Yeah, like that makes sense. Bite-sized missions, snappier missions. And, yeah, again, just it fits better with how the game is balanced overall, I guess.
That's it! Next, I will explain how to attack without gunfire. You may run into an enemy unexpectedly. You may not have a weapon on you, or you may be out of ammo. You'll still need an effective attack strategy. One well-placed strike and the enemy won't know what hit him. To strike an enemy, press the attack button while standing still. On my command, press the attack button repeatedly and take down your opponent. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Fine work, boss! Next, we're gonna practice using the stun rod. Hitting someone with the stun rod will shock them with 1.5 million volts. Anyone on the receiving end of that is guaranteed to be out cold. To use the stun rod, press the aim button to ready it, then press the attack button. You'll be glad to know we're using mock stun rods for this training session. When your partner attacks, make him believe it's the real deal. Prepare yourself for stun rod training. Go!
I love this
I'm
one.
ready, boss.
Okay. Let's do it.
Fine work, boss! Now we'll move on to CQC. CQC, or
Good
Close
performance.
Quarters Combat, refers to when engaging an enemy in battle at very close range. It is a quick and efficient way of eliminating a threat. There are various CQC techniques. We will go over each of them. Don't get cocky because you think you know them. This will be different from what you're used to. Pretend you are learning it for the first time. The first technique is throwing your opponent. To do this, position yourself near your opponent and press the attack button while you tilt the left stick. Be sure to press the attack button when the icon appears. Now, wait for my command and throw your opponent. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Impressive, boss! Next, I'm going to teach you how to restrain an opponent close to you. This is a cornerstone of CQC. Grab hold of an enemy, and the bastard's life is in your hands. What you do from there is up to you. Just know that if you restrain him for too long, the average person will most likely pass out. Something to keep in mind. Let's begin. To restrain your opponent, hold down the attack button while near them. Restrain your opponent on my command. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Fine work, boss! Now we will throw your opponent after restraining them. To throw an enemy to the ground, press a direction on the left stick when you have them restrained. Restrain your opponent and throw them on my command. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Impressive, boss! Now we will try CQC against multiple enemy opponents. You can also take out a group of enemies by throwing an opponent you have restrained. First, restrain an opponent by pressing the attack button near them. Then, tilt the left stick to throw them. By tilting the left stick toward other enemies, you can send your captive flying straight into them. On my command, restrain and then throw your opponent. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Nice.
Fantastic! Again! Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Fine work, boss! All right! Why don't we do something special since the boss is here? Anyone who feels like getting their ass kicked, step forward. Don't hold back, boss. When you're surrounded by multiple enemies, you'll have to take them on one after the other. To do it, simply press the attack button again while throwing the current enemy. Just be sure to wait for the icon to appear. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
This new consecutive action that we have in this game. Pretty sick.
Fine work, boss! Again! Go!
I'm ready, boss.
I wish you actually had to time it though. You don't. You can just spam it.
Fine work, boss! And stop! That's it for today! Thank you, boss! Snake!
What's going on, Kaz?
We've got guests.
Time to move.
Don't worry, it's not our friends from Langley. I brought him. Made sure we won't fall.
Thank you, Big Boss.
Call me Snake.
Sorry, Vic Boss.
Listen up. For us, there is no victory.
But in Revolution, doesn't one triumph or die?
We don't do either.
Yes, I'll change the title to Peace Walker. Thank you.
Here.
Ah, thank you. I feel like a new man. There's no coffee like Costa Rican coffee.
So, what brings a distinguished scholar from the Costa Rican government to Colombia?
Professor Galvez comes from Costa Rica's University for Peace.
You see, over the past year, there have been sightings of an armed group in Costa Rica. They're not ours, of course.
Costa Rica doesn't have an army.
Correct. Article 12 of our Constitution states that the Army as a permanent institution is abolished.
The Peace Constitution.
You think it's rebels who fled Nicaragua?
No, they don't appear to be guerrillas. They're far too organized.
What's your government's take?
The authorities in San Jose claim it's a multinational security firm, hired by the Development Corporation of Costa Rica. Lies, obviously. They're bringing in state-of-the-art weaponry and equipment by the shipload.
Where'd they get that kind of cash?
I fear La CIA may be involved.
The CIA.
As you both know, the United States views Central America as its backyard. Even after Cuba, we've managed to maintain a delicate balance with the U.S.
And your government can't just give them the boot?
We are not allowed to bear arms.
Japan's constitution has something similar. Article 9. It says Japan renounces war and can't maintain an army.
I understand that you and your men have neither state nor ideology. That you will fight any foe. Please, you must drive them out of our defenseless country. We come to you, the Militaires Sans Frontières.
So, you want to hire us?
Yes, as our deterrent. We can't afford to pay much, it's true. But we can offer you this. A forward operating base. An offshore plant in the Caribbean.
Sounds pretty good to me. This place is becoming a mess anyway. Snake, we need someplace we can settle down.
The governments agreed to cooperate. Unofficially, of course.
A chopper for transport would be nice too.
I'll see what I can do.
Hold it. You seem to think we're just a pack of dogs of war. Is that right?
Yes, that's what I've heard. You're an army without a state.
No, we've only left our countries behind.
Please, you must help us.
If your suspicions are true, force isn't gonna do any good. You'll have to find a political solution.
The government's hands are tied.
Go back to your bosses in San Jose. Tell them if they want, I'll introduce them to a negotiator I know.
No. I'm not here on their behalf.
So, what are you doing here?
For over 20 years, I've preached the virtues of peace at multiple universities. Tonight, I stand before you as an educator. This is my student. She came to me to study peace. Her name is Paz. Paz Ortega.
Paz. Peace.
No kidding. That's my name too. Kazuhira. It's Japanese for peace. Pleased to meet you, Paz. Call me Kaz.
They've got a supply port north of Puerto Limon, a town in la Costa del Mar Caribe. A few days ago, Paz stumbled upon that facility while searching for a lost friend. She was captured. She's only a child, 16 years old. They did terrible things to her, but somehow she managed to escape.
Oh, thank God.
She's huérfana. Her mother died when she was small, and she lost her grandparents in the Civil War. She hates war with a passion like no other.
My name is Paz, and I will do anything to protect my namesake. It is my one and only purpose. Please, get them out of my country. Make them leave Costa Rica.
Sorry, kid.
We know who you are, Big Boss. That is why we've come to you.
Prologue. An army without borders. Did you know that the University for Peace is actually a real thing? It's true. Look it up.
Miller here. Do you copy, Snake?
So now we get another little tutorial.
That makes one giant leap for us. I'm sending this from the offshore plant, our mother base. The signal is unidirectional. I'll be giving you commands and advice through this channel. Keep your headphones on at all times and pay attention. Also, make sure no one else can listen in. Snake, are you clear on the controls? Take a minute to refresh your memory. Use the left stick to move. Use the right stick to adjust your view. To change your settings, use the start button to open the menu. There's no one around. Why not try some shooting practice? Select a target and squeeze off a round or two. Press the directional buttons while holding the R2 button to switch weapons. Ready your weapon with the L1 button.
Miller just won't
then
stop
press the
talking
R1
here.
button to fire.
He has a lot of things to say.
How about a little shooting practice? Try hitting a coconut. Select equipment by pressing the square or circle button while holding the L2 button. To check your map, press the start button to open the menu.
What about grenades?
The M16 is a standard assault rifle, capable of rapid fire. grenades explode, you throw them, Snake.
I
Use the
know.
R1 button to ready throwing weapons.
I don't
Once
like your
you've readied
fucking
the
tone.
weapon, throw with the R1 button. When using throwing weapons, hold the attack button down longer to throw farther. You won't throw the weapon until you let go of the button.
You throw them, Snake. I only just equipped them. Can I throw them over to the barrel? I don't think I can make it that far.
That's it. That's right. Nicely done, boss.
Yeah, so one character you might not expect to see when you play this game for the first time is Master Miller. Miller in a game with Big Boss. It's one thing that this game does really well, I think. This whole reshaping of Miller's character. His relationship with Big Boss is quite well done, I think, in this. Robin Atkin Downes really plays the part well. Lots of good banter. Originally, Ocelot was going to be in this game as well. I'm not sure if many of you knew that. But yeah, originally the plan was for Ocelot to be in the game, and it would have been more... You would have had like more of a dynamic between Snake, Ocelot, and Miller. But in the end, they decided against that because they thought it would take attention away from Miller, and they really wanted Miller to be like a focus. They thought Ocelot might have taken the attention away a bit. So they thought they would, yeah, just focus more on Miller.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think it was a wise decision in the end. Yeah, he's lurking behind the scenes somewhere.
The facility you're headed for is past that fence. A grenade should be able to take out that gate. Don't you think you could use a little more practice?
Does he ever tell you to, like, get on with it?
The Mark 22 tranquilizer gun can put enemies to sleep. The closer to the head you hit, the more effective it is. Tranquilizer rounds are hard to come by. Don't waste them. Perfect.
I'm not sure if I ever exhausted all of his dialogue here. There might be some stuff I haven't heard here.
That's it.
What about magazines? Nothing to say? Stun rod?
To use the stun rod, first unequip any other weapons. Then ready it with the L1 button and strike with the R1 button.
Oh, I didn't know you could stun these, actually.
Make your way east.
Yeah, now he's telling me to move on. I guess I've done everything.
Shift your aim to hit nearby body parts. If you want to change the aim settings, take a look under Options. Hitting an enemy's vital points can bring them down with a single shot. You can also intentionally avoid lethal shots. Say if you just want to slow the target down. I gotta thank you for agreeing to this, Snake. Man, am I glad to be out of here. Finally, we can leave all that crap in San Geronimo behind. Break into the mercenary business for real. Let me guess. You're doing it for her, aren't you? For her.
Are they still here?
Come on, Snake. This could be good for us. They're willing to give us an offshore plant. A place we can finally put down some roots. This is our chance to expand MSF.
We don't need a place to stay, Kaz. We're nomads. We always will be.
What? You'd rather keep wandering from conflict to conflict? Tools in the hands of whoever's fighting at the time?
The second we settle down, who's to say we won't become the warmongers?
Listen to me, Snake. We're not mercenaries. We're not a foreign legion. MSF's a business. A new kind of business. Look, it's not like we're trying to start a war here. All we need to do is find out who this security company really is.
Come on, Kaz. It's pretty obvious that they're backed by the CIA.
Wait a sec. That would mean...
Our friend, the Professor, is likely KGB.
I see.
We'd be making an enemy of our homeland.
And there'd be no turning back.
Ah, this damn thing won't light.
Huh?
Put on some coffee, Kaz. It's time for a little chat with the Professor.
I was a heavy smoker. When I got my medal from the Secretary General, he gave me this prosthetic hand as well. But smoking was ruining my lungs, so I quit. I've not had much use for it since. It's quite an honor to meet the legendary Big Boss.
That's just a code name the CIA made up.
Then perhaps I should call you John.
I don't have a name. Stop using that code name you liked so much 10 years ago. What about you, comrade? What do they call you back at Center?
Well then, allow me to get straight to the point. Land as slim as a whip, hot as torture.
That's the Chilean poet, Neruda.
Central America is the navel of the American continents, bridging north and south. We want this land. We'll build a socialist stronghold, then use it to split the Americas in two.
America would lose its backyard.
And with it, its economic production, shipping lanes, and strategic value. We, on the other hand, would gain a base from which all of Latin America would be well within our reach. He who controls Central America will win this Cold War. First comes Nicaragua, toppling the pro-American Somoza regime. In preparation, we've begun instigating anti-Somoza sentiment and providing aid to the Sandinista National Liberation Front.
You're manipulating Sandinista into overthrowing Somoza for you.
After the revolution, Nicaragua will become a socialist state.
You think America's just gonna let that happen?
Certainly not. After all, the CIA is already here.
And that's the armed group inside Costa Rica.
Precisely. It's clear that they've been sent in to disrupt our efforts across the border in Nicaragua. Simply put, the army now stationed in Costa Rica is CIA capital. But it's more complex than that. The CIA's got something else planned as well.
What?
That is the million-dollar question. Big Boss, we want you and your unit to find the answer. Infiltrate and investigate the facility in La Costa, where Paz was imprisoned. Learn all you can of their operations. Then, drive them out of the country.
You're asking us to settle a turf war between the KGB and the CIA?
What about her? That was all just an act?
You mean her words about peace? She was captured, that much is true. But I've kept my KGB affiliation from her.
And you thought we'd fall for a sob story?
No. I had good reason to bring her along. She managed to escape with her life, but her friend was not so lucky. Why were they attacked? I believe this will help explain. Perhaps they saw something they weren't supposed to. Perhaps they heard something they shouldn't have.
A cassette tape?
Paz took this during her escape. She says her friend happened to record it by accident.
What is that?
A portable stereo cassette player. The first of its kind.
Ah, I heard they were working on something like that in Japan. Didn't know you guys were too.
I believe what you're about to hear will help you understand.
What is that? A Quetzal?
The phoenix bird.
Paz's friend was researching birds. She went out into the jungle to record bird calls and stumbled upon this.
So? So what?
Now it gets interesting.
Poisonous. I need to get rid of it. I chase it back to its nest. You can't. The snake's too vicious. It's all... Many people. I chase it away. It will bite you unless you kill it. Go home.
Paz. Voice print analysis confirms that this voice is indeed that of the legendary hero and criminal, the boss.
What?
The other hasn't been identified. Female in her 30s with a British accent. The song playing in the background was a hit in 1973.
What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your mentor? Your mission or your beliefs?
I am loyal to
Paz
myself.
is alive in Costa Rica.
As I understand it, she was your commander, fought by your side. And that you killed her under orders from the CIA, thus surpassing her to become the hero known as Big Boss. Well, what'll it be? Will you take the job?
Snake, it's gotta be a trap.
So you still can't turn your back on your country? Then I suppose you won't need this.
Wait!
Snake?
I'll do it for the girl. For Paz.
Okay. For peace, then.
There they are. CIA mercs. Snake, you've got to get past them undetected. Avoid combat whenever possible. This is a sneaking mission. hide behind stuff. Take the long way around. Whatever it takes to stay out of sight.
Yeah!
Your gun is the last resort. It could just as easily kill you as save you.
Okay, okay. I didn't know what you were talking about there, Arta. How the hell do I say your name? Arta Bitichurti? Araberti Churti. Araberti Certi or Araberti Churti? I'll just say Artie. Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize you were talking about like the Walkman and like not matching up with when Walkmans were made, or yeah, when it comes to like the technology that shouldn't be in this game.
The indicator in the upper right serves as a compass and shows sound sources. Pay attention to your surroundings.
I don't really care too much about that. It is interesting, though, you know, with MGS3, obviously, they didn't go crazy with the tech in MGS3. They tried to keep it more...
The percentage in the upper right is your
Stop
camo
talking!
Index. The lower the number, the more easily you'll be spotted. Conspicuous movements and loud noises will compromise your camo index. Your fatigues will act as camouflage.
Yeah. Where was I? With MGS3, obviously, they tried to keep the tech very much in line with the times. They did take some liberties, but even with some of the crazier stuff, it did have its roots in a lot of the technology of the time. You know, like the flying platforms being based on prototypes that were made in the 50s and things like that. With Peace Walker, they just threw all that shit out the window and they went crazy with AI weapons and all of that. But I don't know, I don't really mind so much. It feels like there's a purpose to it as well, coming after 4, where they're trying to show the genesis of a lot of the stuff that we see in 4. It's kind of like we're seeing the birth of the boss AI, in a sense, here, which would then go on to be a big thing.
When you clear the jungle,
in
you'll be
MGS4.
there. Head east.
You know, Zero creating the AIs to carry on the will of the boss, and we're kind of seeing where that all came from in this.
Not enough room, huh? We'll keep it here at the base.
Kind of like the genesis of the AI story throughout the series. Let's see. I really shouldn't have wasted my... Oh! The game didn't refill my suppressor after the tutorial area. Forgot it does that.
Freeze.
Now we can change... Oh, I still can't change it to the radio. Okay.
Make your way east. Looks like you're inside the compound. Security is tight. Stay sharp.
I like what they do with the scrolling credits here. Very MGS1 like the opening credits coming in. But it's a little bit different. The credits... The pace at which the credits scroll depends on the speed at which you go through the area, which is really neat. So if you just sprint from one end to the other, the credits will scroll really quickly as you make your way through. If you take your time, the credits will slowly come up. Because I've barely moved, all we got was the Kojima credit, but as we keep going here... Nice little touch. What is this? Love box.
A cardboard box? What are you gonna use that for?
Love box. A bigger cardboard box. Might be able to fit 2 people. Select from the equipment window and press X to drop. In order to set. Yeah, so you can use your box as a platform to reach other platforms. A cool little thing.
Freeze.
Forklift. MGS1 style.
Infiltrate the facility on the east side of the compound.
Kind of like the dock, with all the containers. Whoop.
Hey! Somebody there?
Yes, sir, we broke them. We acquired the whereabouts of target 500.
Acknowledged. Spears are loaded. The barge has cleared Point Bravo.
Acknowledged. Out.
Freeze! The cargo. Where's it headed? What is it?
Air suit! In the mountains!
What's up there?
DJ Gonzalez.
This is Snake. Kaz, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You found a radio.
It's got a circuit that reverses the audio phase.
Let's switch frequencies from time to time, just to make sure we're not detected.
I found a map of their bases. The cargo's heading from the marshes west towards Irazu.
Nice going, boss.
Kaz, this place is full of film badges. Dozens of them.
Film badges? Like the ones used to measure radiation exposure?
The radio man was wearing one. And whoever he was talking to called the cargo Spears.
Wait, that would mean...
Nukes. They're bringing nukes into Costa Rica.
Holy Mother of God.
Sweet Jesus. Nukes in another Metal Gear game? I don't believe it. He's done it again.
How's that map, Snake? Think you can use it?
It tells me where their bases are, but it's just a bunch of points. No routes. I need better intel on the lay of the land.
Snake, the professor said he's got the Sandinistas on his side. Said you should get in touch with the FSL and Comandante.
Do they know they're backed by the KGB?
Nah. As far as they know, they're really fighting for the revolution. The KGB is staying behind the scenes. I'm not sure the Sandinistas are aware of what's really going on.
Still can't believe anybody would bring nukes here.
Yeah, that's a shocker. Costa Rica's party to the Tlatelolco Treaty,
Good
which
old
declares
proxy
Latin
wars.
America a nuke-free zone. Based on Japan's 3 non-nuclear principles, it bans the testing, use, import, or deployment of nuclear weapons. If word of this gets out, Opinol will be forced to act. It'll cause an international uproar.
The treaty was signed to prevent another Cuban Missile Crisis. If the U.S. itself is gonna scrap it...
Latin America is too close to spawning another Cuba or 2 already. The entire continent would become one big powder keg.
Well, if they did bring nukes, we can't let them get away with it.
Are they planning a test? Showing off? Or is it all to keep the anti-American movement in check?
Good question. Why bring them here? I can't figure it out.
Whatever the CIA's up to in Costa Rica, the professor wants it stopped. We need to find out what that something is.
We need to get ready first, Kaz. Repairs?
Working as fast as we can, boss. This place is pretty beat. Looks like hell. But as long as you're with us, we'll make it heaven. No one can bother us here. No state telling us what to do. This is the MSF's haven, our mother base. And with this foothold, we'll back you up even better than before. We're gonna turn this pile of junk into something big.
I was looking up the University of Peace again, just because we were talking about it, especially with the Costa Rican guy in the chat. Apparently the headquarters for the University of Peace is in Costa Rica. Just looking at the wiki page. Creation of the University for Peace was set in motion by a treaty and endorsed by Resolution 34111 of 14 December 1979 of the United Nations General Assembly. By this resolution, the UN General Assembly established an international commission which, in collaboration with the government of Costa Rica, was requested to prepare the organization, structure, and setting in motion of the University for Peace. And so on, and so on, and so on. It even has the address here. Calle Universidad, El Rodeo de Mora, San Jose, Costa Rica. The main campus of the university, the Rodrigo Carazo campus, located 30 kilometers southwest of San Jose. Anyway, I'll get lost in this wiki page. Let me go back to the game. So now we get introduced to our mother base. I love the menu music in this game, man. Something dark, simmering, building, bubbling up. So good. Just, you know, perfect for the moral ambiguities of MSF, Mother Base. What exactly are we building here? Are we the good guys? You know, it really captures that kind of feel. The way these menu themes evolve and develop over the course of the game is also another really cool thing. When you eventually, as Mother Base grows, the music will change. The second theme is very similar to this theme, except it sounds even more militaristic. It has like a more anthemic kind of feel to it. Anthemic, is that a word? I think it's a word, like an anthem, I'm trying to say. You know, it almost sounds like a national anthem later on. When the horns come in and the brass comes in, it kind of feels like it's playing an anthem. A kind of pained, tragic anthem. And then when you get to the third Mother Base theme, after you've finished the game and you're this fucking mighty nation practically with your own nuke, the music sounds like, you know, you're about to... The music sounds like MSF is going to come and bomb your whole country. The music sounds like you're going to get your face kicked into the dirt. This is really cool how it evolves. You know, it starts as just something simmering and then it builds, gets bigger, more militaristic. They do some similar stuff with the mission select themes as well. But yeah, I feel like Peace Walker's soundtrack is really underrated. Even I feel like I underrate it a lot of the time. Like, I don't think about it as much as some of the other earlier games when I think of MGS soundtracks, but it's a really effective soundtrack. It doesn't get enough credit. I think maybe it's in part because a lot of it is like just kind of ambient music. Like, maybe it doesn't stand out as much as some of the bigger themes in the previous games, but it has just really effective ambient pieces, ambient music, and some bigger themes as well. Like the main theme is great. Of course, Heaven's Divide. Some really emotional themes later on as well. The music that plays when you rescue Chico. I won't be here for that. DRK will be playing, but pay attention to the music that plays during the scene where you rescue Chico and the radio calls that follow that up. It's a really nice piece of music. Anyway, let's take a look here. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm actually not sure who's responsible for most of the music in Peace Walker. I think Akihiro Honda did a lot of it. I don't need a tutorial. Harry Gregson Williams did the main theme, but that's about it in Peace Walker. Toda, I'm probably not as familiar as I should be with Toda. Jinouchi. Would you like to view the staff assignment tutorial? Nah, I'm good. So yeah, here we just get introduced to our base building, staff management. We have Miller here. Everyone's in the waiting room. We only have a couple of units right now. The combat unit, R&D. We're not mercenaries. We're not a foreign legion. MSF's a business. A new kind of business. Yeah, Miller is depicted as this sort of capitalist entrepreneur, this visionary who sees the future, who sees the world of MGS4 coming. Speaking of the genesis of things in MGS4, like we were talking about earlier with the AIs, and this game kind of starting off that story of the AIs in the timeline, kind of feels like they do the same with the PMCs as well. Like MSF is we're seeing the birth of the modern PMC here, and Kaz sees this future coming, and he wants to be there from the ground floor and take advantage of this new business. If we read the quotes from all our other random soldiers as well, we get little tips, advice, little tutorials, little Easter eggs, silly little things. I always like reading through these. Some of them are quite funny. I thought my gear felt a little heavy. Turns out my guns alone weighed 20 pounds. No wonder my psych decreased. Heavier isn't always better, I guess. I got a daughter. She's gonna be 12 next year. I have to make it out of this alive. Same age as Chico, huh? You know when you get a package and it's exactly what you needed the most? I always get a little misty when that happens. I don't remember this one. You can send friends packages online in this. Send your friends items. We're gonna get Hideo? Of course. You, a sneaking master? Are you kidding me? I can smell the gunpowder on you a mile away. Who the fuck? Who the hell does this guy think he's talking to? Does he know who I am? I'm tempted to fire him, but his R&D is kind of decent. Get him out of here? No, I can't deal with this.
You're fired.
I love to grill things. My favorite food is stir-fried noodles. Those grilled chicken skewers they got in Japan are pretty good too. It's nice to have a place to come back home to. I'm glad I joined up with you. We're gonna make a name for ourselves. You stay here. I'll have this mission wrapped up in no time. To get higher ranked weapons, you'll need to find the design specs and raise the level of the R&D team. Guess you got your work cut out for you in the field and at Mother Base. I got back from Vietnam and found I had no place to call home anymore. Mind if I stick with you guys for a while? Yeah, a place for the have-nots. A new place for people without a home. The food ain't too bad here. Of course, it's nothing like my ma's. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Shotguns are awesome. They can blow away just about anything in one shot. Only problem is they got short range and low ammo. Oh. Okay, let's assign these fools. I put Miller on the R&D team. Smoke grenades. Okay, let's start developing some stuff here. We got the rank 2 Mark 22. Is Peace Walker in the Master Collection? No, it'll probably be in one of the upcoming volumes, though. You would think. Let me see if DRK is ready to take over. Probably will be soon enough. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Kojima personally drew all of the portraits. No, but Shinkawa did. Let's do a Fulton recovery. Snake has knocked out a radio soldier in the supply facility at Puerta del Alba. Use Fulton recovery to retrieve the radio soldier. Killing the radio soldier will result in instant mission failure. MSF soldiers only. So this is one cool thing about this game as well. Some of the side ops will actually tie into the story a bit. the radio soldier calling back to the first mission that we did. And now we're gonna go in and grab the guy.
The boss has infiltrated the area around the coastal supply facility and knocked out the soldier there. But we can't just leave him there to be found. I need you to get in there and capture the unconscious soldier using the Fulton recovery system. Do it quickly before he comes to.
The artwork you see in the game, like during cutscenes, the comic book style cutscenes, those are done by Ashley Wood and Shinkawa. Shinkawa worked on them as well.
Snake, you can use the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system to send prisoners and unconscious mercenaries you encounter back to Mother Base. I know you've used the Fulton before, but just to make sure I'm not missing anything, let's review the steps.
Okay.
First, attach a balloon to the unconscious enemy or captured prisoner.
Right. I hook a wire to their waist, and on the other end of the wire, there's a helium balloon.
Right. Then we'll send over a chopper to catch the floating balloon with its recovery hook and reel it up into its cargo hold.
And that's it?
And that's it. We finished installing the recovery hook on the Huey.
Wait, Kaz. Something doesn't make sense about this whole process.
This again.
Well, normally, Fulton recovery is for when you're using fixed-wing aircraft. With a helicopter, isn't it simpler to land and pick up directly?
Listen, Snake. You're going to be calling for recoveries repeatedly throughout your mission. We want to keep the risk of taking enemy fire to a minimum. The best way to get that done is to do the recovery in a high-speed flyby. That's what the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system is for.
Uh-huh. What's the real reason?
Helicopters are cheaper, and the repair bills will start adding up once the bullets start flying.
I thought so. Kaz, I know we need to keep costs down, but...
Boss, you really need to get rid of this whole army mentality. We're not the Pentagon. We don't have billions of taxpayer dollars to play with. And besides...
Fine. Just pick a reason that makes sense.
Helicopters have quicker response time. Sounds strange, yeah, but it works great. I promise. You'll get used to it before long.
Yeah, I hope so.
Z29, I just spoke about it. But Ashley is actually a he, not a she. But yeah, Ashley Wood worked on the cutscenes of this game, along with Shinkawa. Shinkawa and Ashley Wood both did the comic book scenes in this. No, I don't want to hear this
Snake.
again. You just got here. Not good enough, I'm afraid. I noticed that you commented in the chat before I said that. So, no, that's not an excuse. You just weren't listening, Z29. So I expect a written apology sometime soon. But no rush. Just sometime soon, whenever you can.
The mercenary supply base is situated on elevated ground by the coast. I heard them call it Puerto del Alba, Port of Dawn. They have perfect visibility of the area from up there. We did our best to sneak in undetected, but one FT guard spotted us and we...
What is it?
I'm sorry. You'll have to ask Professor Galvez the rest.
It's okay. You've been through a lot.
I am sorry. I just cannot.
You did great, Paz. I won't let your efforts go wasted.
Okay, let's send in good old Alligator, shall we? He'll get the job done.
Use Fulton Recovery to bring back knocked out soldiers. To use Fulton Recovery on a soldier, get up next to them so the icon appears, and push the action button. You could probably climb that if you had someone to lend you a hand.
Alright, now where is this fool? Here he is.
Looks like that soldier's out cold. Try using Fulton recovery on him. Okay, you're done with that area. Head for the goal. Good job. Return to base.
Alright, fools. Dr. K is ready to take over. And I'll finally be able to get a bit of rest. You know the drill. Bam, ba, 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 bam. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the save sent over to DRK so he can pick up right where we left off here. I'll play some tunes while you guys wait and while I get this save sent over to him. So yeah, just bear with me. Just give me like a few minutes. And then I'll come back to sign off fully. I'll be right back.
races that last a century. And we cannot afford to play that Russian roulette again. It is yours to guard. We are here today to flush out and rid our country of these corrupting forces. That is our mission. You will bear that in mind.
Okay, I think we're ready to switch. Let me just check my dashboard one last time.
It is an undeniable fact that there is a force at work in our government.
And within the military.
Seeking to control national affairs to suit its own interests.
Payacon, thank you very much for the 46. And Ardent Oscar, thank you as well. I can't remember if I thanked you earlier. I think I did. Yeah, as you know, the stream will go down for like 10 or 20 seconds, and then DRK will be right back up with more Peace Walker, picking up right where we left off with the exact same save. Yeah, don't go anywhere, chat. I'll be back later to finish off Peace Walker and start up Ground Zeroes. I'll see you later. Have fun with DRK and more Peace Walker. Don't go anywhere.